Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi guys, I Charuniza bin Karim and my friend which is Hidayatul and Amanda will bring you today to explore Indonesia culture. So what are you waiting for? Let's go and enjoy the journey.
Merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta, Indonesia. Merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. Indonesia.
For the first pit stop, do you know that the Republic of Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world, and also Republic Indonesia is the fourth most populous country in the world? As we know that Republic of Indonesia is the largest archipelago, that means they also have a highest numbers of population with more than 255 million people from more than 350 ethnic groups. Alright, for the second pit stop, if Malaysia we have Rukun Negara, but did you know in Indonesia it's called as Pancasila as state philosophy. Pancasila is the official foundational philosophical theory of Indonesia. Pancasila comprised two old Javanese words originally derived from Sanskrit, which is Pancha, which means five, and Sila, which is principle. Thus, it is composed five principles and contains that they are inseparable and interrelated. The five Pancasila, which is ketuhanan yang Maha Esa, kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab, persatuan Indonesia, kerakyatan yang dipimpin oleh khidmat kebijaksanaan dalam perwakilan, and finally, which is keadilan sosial bagi seluruh rakyat Indonesia. Ever since the prehistoric time that Indonesian archipelago has been inhabited, most intermittent, there speak at least two languages or more volcanic eruption in Indonesia made the ideal habitat for a large number of unique and endemic flora and fauna such as Rafflesia, orangutan, and the most legendary lizard which is Komodo dragon that only found in Indonesia. Next, in terms of weather, being a tropical country, Indonesia is again with two seasons, which is rainy season on October to May and dry season from June to September. Alright, I think that's all for me. I will pass the journey to Sister Amanda. Let's welcome Sister.
Thank you, Brother Charul. Without further ado, I'm Nur Amanda Amris, will explain further regarding the inside culture of Indonesia. First thing first, let we see about their religion. One uniqueness of the Indonesian government stand on freedom of religion. There is recognized 6 official religions only, namely Islam, Protestantism, Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Every Indonesian is required to embrace one of these religions as it is mandatory personal data that is mentioned in official documents such as passport and other identification card like license card. Now let's talk about the culinary of Indonesia. Be it nasi uduk or delicious rendang, each recipe in Indonesia is manifestation of the nation's history and culture. In a country so rich in history and traditions like Indonesia, a meal is never just a meal. Traditions, stories, and culture are cooked into every recipe, creating a unique cuisine loved by many people. Indonesian food is the product of nation-owned ancient recipe, refined by influence from other cultures seen throughout India, China, the Middle East, and more. Every ethnicity in the country holds unique recipe specific to their culture. The popular Padang cuisine, for example, uses a lot of chilies and spice to keep the people warm as they live in cold highland. Sweet Javanese food, on the other hand, was influenced by the abundance of sugar productions during colonial times. Here we have Padang cuisine such as rendang, nasi kapau, and sate padang. We also have Java cuisine, which is nasi uduk and bakso. Ini tuh enak banget loh guys. So what do you guys think? Next, I will let Sister Hidayato to lead our journey. Then we move on to the language of Indonesia. Bahasa Indonesia is the official language of Indonesia, an archipelago of 17,508 islands. That is the world's largest Muslim majority nation with a total population of nearly 242 million. Over 300 different native languages are spoken in Indonesia. While Bahasa Indonesia is spoken as their mother tongue by only 7% of the total population, it is the national language and used by 200 million people as their second language. In order to facilitate communication among the Indonesian people, Bahasa Indonesia is commonly used for businesses and administrative purposes as well as by education institutions and mass media entertainment throughout their country. Bahasa Indonesia is written in the Latin alphabet and the lexicon is rich with borrowed vocabulary from many languages such as Sanskrit, Arabic, Portuguese, Dutch, and even Chinese. We will go one by one of the 5 main Indonesia islands for we explore their languages. First, we will explore Java Island, the Javanese languages. Java Island is usually the main focus of Indonesia's social and political affairs because of the capital city, Jakarta, is located there. The ethnics of Javanese can be found almost anywhere in Indonesia. The Javanese language is a major language, mostly used on Java Island. It is a pretty complex language with 3 different registers. Javanese speakers from different parts of Java Island also speak different variety of the language, such as Western Javanese, Central Javanese, and Eastern Javanese. As you can see in the video, that is from my footage during my visit to Surabaya, is Java Indonesia back in early 2019. I enjoyed my semester break with some of my Indonesian friends. We visit Mount Bromo in Malang, Surabaya, and many other destinations. What I can say is, yes, there are so many types of Javanese language and my friend also cannot understand it as well. The 4th Indonesia island, which is Sumatra Island, the Minang language. Oh, by the way, this is my hometown, you all. Okay, Sumatra Island is located on the west of Indonesia and it has over 52 million people living in it. People from various ethnicities belong to Sumatra Island, mostly rooted in the Malay races. Some of the ethnicities are Aceh, Batak, and Minangkabau. Let me speak in Minang language as it is my 3rd language. For example, I want to ask, sister, how much is it? Then in Minang, it will be Bara harago ko tiap ni. Did you get it? Bara means how much, harago means price, Ko means this, Ciek means one, and lastly Uni means sister. Let me try one more time. Para haragonyo Ciek Ko Uni, this video was also my footage during at my hometown in year 2017. I got the chance to go one of my bucket list dream destination, which is Siranda Island in Padang West, Sumatra, Indonesia, together with my cousins. The second main Indonesian island, we have Kalimantan Island, the Austronesian language. Kalimantan is located on Borneo Island. This island comprises of 3 countries, which is Indonesia, our country Malaysia, and Brunei. Borneo is the largest island in Asia and the 3rd largest island in the world. There are 74 living languages belong to Malaya-Polynesian subgroup of the Austronesian language in Kalimantan. Ethnology classify this language into 5 families, which is Greater Barito, Landaya, Malaik, North Borneo, and South Sulawesi. Most of these languages are lesser known to Indonesia and foreigner. There are also the Chinese Hakka speakers, mostly at Singkawang and Pontianak in the province of West Kalimantan. Then we have Sulawesi Island, the Bugis language. Sulawesi Island is the 7th largest island in the world, as with Kalimantan. Sulawesi is home to a great number of lesser known languages as well. Ethnic Buginese is mostly associated with this island and has the most speakers in Sulawesi. Their language, the Bugis language, is spoken mainly in the southern part of the island by only 2% of the country population. Following Bugis, Makassari's language is the 2nd major language in almost 1% of the total population speaking of it. Other languages spoken in Sulawesi including Manado Malay in the north, Torajo in the south and west, Muna and Tolaki in the southeast, and lastly Tay in the south area. The last one is Papua Island, the Papuan language. Papua Island consists of 2 countries, Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. Irian Jaya is the formal name of Indonesia's Papua province and is home to Indonesia's highest mountain, the Puncak Jaya. It is one of the 7 highest mountains in the world and you can see snow. This is an amazing phenomenon because Indonesia is a tropical country. The local language used in West Papua is quite large, consisting of 270 Papuan languagues and 5 Austronesian languages. The Papuan citizens speak a unique variant of Indonesian language called Papuan Malay. It is used as the lingua franca of interactive communications, especially in trading. The Papuan Malay has been highly influenced by local languages, but it is mutually intelligible with Indonesia. Little tips for me, if after COVID-19, if you guys get to visit Indonesia, don't be surprised if you heard 4 or more language in one places and the local also did not know 100% of their language, okay? Because it is normal in there.
Hello everyone, I am Hidayatul Nabila, and now let us explore further on the culture of Indonesia. Various kinds of different cultures and traditions around the country are also expressed in many interesting cultural events, such as festivals and ceremonies. Among the Indonesian cultural festivals and ceremonies are Rambu Solo Ceremony, Zakaten, Tabut Festival, Masak Kude Ceremony, and Kesada Ceremony. Every ceremony and events representing their own uniqueness according to the belief, religion, and traditions that have been passed from their ancestors from one generation to another generation. Not only that, Indonesian culture is indeed rich in arts and craft. For example, textile, woodcrafts, and beautiful sculpture. Among the famous arts and crafts that book and brought by the tourists when visiting Indonesia are their aesthetic and local style songkit, colorful hand-woven skill that frequently used during special occasions and events. Other than that, different kind of sculpture that manifest the history and myth stories of their locality also can be discovered. Besides, one of the specialty in Indonesia is that you can find the unique and finely crafted furniture that represents their culture. If you are planning to visit Indonesia, these are among the things that you can look forward in Indonesia. Probably some of them you can buy as souvenirs.
So let's talk about issues and challenges. The first issue and challenges is religions and violence. Unfortunately, religion has also been the cause of much violence throughout the history of Indonesia. Regarding Indonesia's recent history, one important turning point that can be noticed is after the fall of President Suharto, New Order regime radical Islamic voice and violence, which is Terrorist Act. Previously, it was largely suppressed by the government and found their way to surface in the form of bomb attack and other attacks. Then, in the era of reformations, Indonesian media has reported frequently about attack by radical Muslim or minority community, such as Ahmadiyya community or Christians. Moreover, criminals or instigators of such violent acts sometimes receive very short period sentences only. This issue have received international attention as several governments, organizations, and media have expressed concern over the ensuring of freedom toward religions in Indonesia. So what I suggest for this issue is that people need to learn humanity. We need to respect each of our religions, race, and culture. We need to train ourselves to be more open-minded and accept others people's opinion. Yes, we have different perspective, but this does not mean that we can do any violence and act terrorism towards other people, right? So we put Palestine and Israel as an example. Indonesia need to keep the stability and peace between their citizens, and each of the authority needs to play their part well, because if they did not prevent it now, one day they can become like that. So we did not want it to be like that, right? So we are in 21st century already. Please allow some space for each of us to live peacefully together with multi-language, races, and religions. That's all from me. Brother Charo will give his view regarding the next issues and challenges.
Various races and also various ethnic groups that are many, even 100 in number. So the language to communicate is very difficult for them to harmonize into one language. This is because they have different communication style, different attitude towards conflict, different approaches to completing tasks, different decision-making style, different attitude toward disclosure, and different approaches to knowing. So to unite the people of Indonesia, General Suharto cemented Pancasila role as Indonesian national ideology to the extent that it had served as a ground norm, a fundamental source of norms and values that encompass various aspects of citizen life, especially in Indonesia.
Last but not least, I will share one of the issues and challenges in promoting the cultural diversity in Indonesia. In certain situations, despite the effort put on promoting the culture and heritage of Indonesia, There's occur a situation in areas which actively being developed for ethnic tourism, such as Toraja in South Sulawesi. The locals find that their houses, villages, and even funerary monuments become removed from their control when these aspects of their lives are designated as tourist objects by planners from Java or the neighboring Bugis and Mandar ethnic groups. This somehow makes the older generation to feel reluctant to continue in supporting the effort towards tourism. As a result, the hospitality towards the incoming tourists becoming a concerning issue as the matter of aesthetic and originality of their tradition and lifestyle does not remain intact. Hopefully, this problem can be resolved sooner. As we know, one of the matters that we should concern in tourism sustainability is the preservation of the cultural and heritage of the tourism destination. Thank you for joining us in our journey in discovering the uniqueness of Indonesia culture and its diversity. Hopefully, we got the insights of Indonesia and are able to visit this wonderful country soon. Goodbye.